summer. The Albert Lee Appliance Seafair Sale, August 8th and 9th. Log on to albertleeappliance.com for details. Don't miss this sale.
The Buttery Jack was a huge success. People went crazy for a burger with melted garlic herb butter. Now, here's the sequel with portobello mushrooms. Boom! Hang on, I don't want anyone to trip. Okay.
Oh yeah, that's Jack's new Portobello Mushroom Buttery Jack, the sequel to the classic, and bacon and Swiss, topped with the same melted garlic herb butter plus portobello mushrooms and grilled onions. Spoiler alert, it's awesome.
Beacon Plumbing is all about the community, from the hydroplanes
and Miss Beacon Plumbing wins the
to helping feed the community and employing the community. From everyone at Beacon Plumbing, thank you, Seattle.
Hey, wait. Stop freaking. Call Beacon.
Time to put all that work in the pits to the test. It is race time again. Heat 3B of Unlimited Boat Racing for the Albert Lee Appliance Seafair Cup, and here are your boats. Graham Trucking, the Elam Plus, Boitano Homes, Dalton Industries, George's presents Miss Carstar, and Albert Lee Appliance. The boats in Unlimited Racing Heat 3B of the Albert Lee Appliance Seafair Cup.
Heat 3B of the Albert Lee Appliance Seafair Cup is presented by Bosch Thermador and is presented for Seafair by One Main Financial.
And as we take a look at the clock, just a little under 4 minutes, but I don't know if the course will calm down in those 4 minutes. The conditions out here, well, the temperature continues to go up, but getting a little lumpy out there. Some rollers, the wind at about 8 miles an hour, and as we've heard, it can cause some problems as it gets above 10 to 15 miles an hour. Here are the drivers who will cope with the conditions today in heat number 3B. It's J. Michael Kelly in the Graham Trucking, Jean Thierret in the Elstrom Elam Plus, and Boitano Homes, Mike Webster. And Chris, J. Michael Kelly, he's got his game face on for this one.
Yeah, he does. Really serious coming out of the little trailer here. And I think they are just a lot like what Jimmy Shane was doing. They want to keep the boat clean. They want to get to the final. They feel like they've left something for the final, which is always important to do, especially it's a mind game out here just as much as it is the equipment. Graham Trucking certainly has the equipment, and we'll see if J. Michael Kelly can turn it on here in Heat 3B.
Here are the rest of the drivers in 3B. Cal Phipps, Kevin Ekert, and Brian Perkins, and Alexis Cal Phipps in the Dalton Industries boat. They have really done well for themselves this weekend.
Yeah, they sure have, Stephen. You'll remember we were having a little party over here on the dock after they won Heat 2B today. Saw them during the air show. Things were much different. They were frantically working on the gearbox. They said they're having some major problems. An oil line came loose, so the crew's knocking on wood over here. They're crossing their fingers. They're really hoping they got everything fixed in time for this heat. They say it is a stacked one. It's going to be a tough race, but they are excited. They're ready to go.
Well, Alexis, it is an important race for a whole lot of reasons. One of which is the Elstrom Elam Plus. I mean, it's literally win or go home. Let's talk to Chip and Mark about that. We are live around the world on KIROTV.com. And here again, the voice of Unlimited Hydroplane Racing, Mark Allen.
Thank you, Steve. We've seen Jean Thierret cutting through the course back and forth, trying to secure lane number 1. But Chip, he's got a really big job ahead of him. We think that he has to either win or place second at best in order to make the final, and he's got to run against the 5, Graham Trucking and J. Michael Kelly, and he's also got to run against Cal Phipps in the 27, the Dalton Industries, and both those guys are very capable of winning this heat.
Let's make it simple. I think he has to win. And have you ever heard the advice, never approach a wounded animal? Well, that's Jean Thierret. He's a wounded animal. You don't want to come near him. He's got nothing to lose. He's angry. He has to win this heat. Watch that boat. He is going to do anything and everything to win this heat to get to the final.
Right now we're looking at J. Michael Kelly in the south turn. They are just a little over a minute away. He is not leading them up the backstretch. Now that will be Cal Phipps in the U-27 Dalton Industries, and Mike Kelly has gone to the outside of him. You can see them about a third of the way up the backstretch right now. And they've slowed down, and this has been a problem, Chip, for some of these boats. An 80-mile-an-hour speed limit as the lower limit. It's bit several of these teams, and those guys are going to have to watch it very carefully. They're at 41 seconds now, and they're going to have to go at 80 miles an hour just a little farther before they make that turn for the start.
And I don't think John Theoret's going to get the inside, so that means he has to look for good water and mash the gas and just not let up. He's in trouble. He's in trouble. He's really got to go fast and get a great start. They're early, Mark, just like you said. Some of them are really early.
Yeah, Cal Phipps has already put the foot down. Now he's slowed it back down.
Oh, easy.
Mike Kelly is going to be in lane number 2. He's going to come with a lot of speed. Theoret in lane 3, it looks like. And in lane 4, it's going to be Brian Perkins. No, Perkins is in 3. Perkins is in 4. Theoret is in 3.
I think Cal, once again, either had a perfect start or he's over. I don't even know if Theoret was close, but Theoret is out in front, Mark.
He is out in front, and he's not leaving much racing room for anybody who's inside him. He is in lane number 3, maybe 2.5. He's got Mike Kelly on his left, and he's got Cal Phipps on his left. A lot of speed right there for the 96 to overcome. Looking from the tail as he heads up the backstretch.
We've had this shot, but only recorded, but that's a live shot. They're transmitting that back to our truck. Ooh, he's not leaving those guys much room.
No, somebody's going to get some water as they come through the north turn.
And he may get a penalty. I was close.
Yeah, John Theoret.
He does not need, see now he is, well, like I said, he's a wounded animal. He's going to do whatever he's got to do.
Cal Phipps had to move to the outside, and he has lost a lot of ground because of it. And Theoret, the end of lap number 1. We're looking for Mike Kelly too. Where did he go? Oh, he's actually, my goodness, we're on lap number 2, and Kelly, the mixture has changed quite a bit here, Chip.
Well, we've got an official with us, and he just gave me a hand motion and said everything's clean. So John Theoret has done it again, apparently, so far. Got himself back against the wall, won the heat that he had to win to get to the final, but he's got to finish it.
Lane number 1 now for John Theoret. Now he'll leave some room. He'll leave some room out there. But the second place boat, which is J. Michael Kelly, just coming through the north turn as Theoret brings the boat down the front straightaway. End of lap number 2. He is in front by way more than 2 or 3 Rooster Tails. And then it's back to J. Michael Kelly in second place. Brian Perkins is chasing him in third place in the 21, the Albert Lee Appliance, and he needs a pretty good finish to maybe make the final. Cal Phipps had to move out. You can see he is way to the outside. He lost a lot of ground, but he also had to move out because John Theoret had closed down everything. He had the legal overlap to do it.
And we just heard from the official, we did see the 27. He was over the line, but he's really not part of the storyline. That's the storyline right there. He's done it over and over again over the years, had to win the last heat to get to the final, did it, and then I've seen him go on to win the final in the Gold Cup. So we get a real story cooking here.
Well, we've kept everybody right side up so far, and that's a good thing. As John Theoret comes down the front straightaway, he will take Heat 3B, and long behind him will be J. Michael Kelly as Theoret crosses the finish line, gets the checkered flag, and Mike Kelly will get it right after him.
I think he's got a broken wing. Look at that wing flex like that.
Yep.
It should not flex like that.
No, he's broken it right in half. Took some water, obviously, and that's not good, but they've got extras, so he'll be ready to go for the final.
And if nothing else, we'll just take it off of Jesse Robertson's boat.
That's true.
Because, you know, when you run 2 boats, there definitely is a first string boat and a second string boat. Right now, J. Michael Kelly is the first string boat. But I'm really glad John Theoret made it to the final, apparently, because it would not be as good a final without him. And that broken wing would have slowed J. Michael Kelly. So we didn't see everything that he's got. Don't go away. We're going to have an amazing final.
You were talking to Jean Theoret in the pits. We know he's a religious man. We also know he's as competitive as anybody who's sat at the controls of a hydroplane. What's he thinking right now as he's bringing this boat back around the course and going to head back into the pits?
Relief.
Yeah.
Because what he said when we were talking, remember he said, it's my fault. And there's nothing worse as a driver to feel that you let the team down. Well, now that's gone. He's in the final. That's all that matters. All is forgiven. All is forgotten. let's go win the final.
So there's the Elstrom boat, the Elam Plus with Jean Thierret, winners of Heat 3B on a weekend where he was the fastest qualifier at over 150 miles an hour, and then just could not get out of his own way for the rest of the weekend until this heat.
I wish John could understand that there's actually an easier way to do this. You know, this has been John's kind of MO since I've known him, is he does it in the end, but man, does he go through a lot of gyrations to get it done.
What a great shot. We rarely get to see these pictures live from boats, and this is the shot coming into the finger pier. The canopy is up, and he'll be climbing out and accept the rope from his crew to be pulled up toward that pier. And then we'll get a chance to hear from Jean Thierret in just a couple of minutes. And we will hear a certain amount of relief, but again, we will also hear the, now I've really got to go to work.
And don't confuse this shot that you're seeing with other GoPro shots that you've seen. GoPros basically have to be recorded.
Right.
This is live. Our guys put a transmitter on this thing. It was all experimental. They didn't know if it was going to work. If it gets wet, the transmission gets bad. But this is great.
Amazingly, it's done well the entire weekend. I mean, we've seen some great shots. There is that transmitter, by the way, from up on that ring, that rear wing, as the boat continues to move in toward the finger pier. And our reporters are getting set. Look at all the bodies out there on the pier. Again, a little bit of relief and saying, wow, we knew this boat and this driver were good. We just needed kind of get into the right circumstance. But the Elam team has got to be pretty happy. In the meantime, J. Michael Kelly, he kept the boat together. He's with our Chris Francis.
He is here, and second place finish for J. Michael Kelly. I know you just wanted to finish the race, get to the final. There's a little damage on the back of that boat there. I think you just turned around and saw that.
Oh, I just want to thank Thierret for that one. I've had nothing but issues with this guy on the race course. He has, I can't even say what I want to say.
Did he cut you tight in that coming across there?
I bet you can go ask Kyle Phipps what he thought of that going down the backstretch. I'm sure he'll have the same thing to say. I mean, we're going too fast for people to be racing like that, and come on. But Graham Trucking, gotta thank them for their support. Amazing sponsor, family and friends. We pulled out a second. Luckily, it looks like our boat's in one piece. They're probably gonna have to replace some parts, but I don't know. I need to look at some footage and see how that guy's actually racing us, because that's like 4 times this year in 2 races.
All right, J. Michael Kelly not happy with the way John Thierret raced him, and he's got to fix his boat here. So I think we're setting up a pretty good final, guys.
Oh, I think you're right, Chris. And let's find out how that happened on the other side. Let's go over to Alexis with John.
All right, well, first things first, John, a big turn of events here for you today. Obviously, you're feeling much better this time around. How did things go for you on that run?
Absolutely. We had a really good start. We were on lane 3, and this thing's fast down chutes, and it showed it right here. So the Lord is good. We're turning things around, and I think we're in the final.
Okay, I know you couldn't hear it, but we just had Chris talking to J. Michael Kelly on the other dock. He seemed to think you guys got tied up a little bit there. What do you have to say about that?
Well, I don't have nothing to say about it. If the officials say it's clean, it's clean.
Okay, good luck in the final.
Okay, thank you.
All right, Alexis, thank you. And let's take a look here as we're going to rack up a piece of video here. Take a look and just, Chip, tell us how close did they get?
Now, the rule here is he has to leave 2 lanes. He has to leave a lane for the guy next to him, which he does, but he also has to leave a lane for this guy.
And you look at Cal Phipps, the 3rd place boat, the white boat. He's just going to go right through both of those rooster tails in order to avoid hitting the buoy.
And see, now you can see right here, that lane's kind of gone away. There's only place for 1 boat there.
But let me play the devil's advocate. How, when you're sitting at the controls of the Elam Plus, can you see that far back that somebody's in there that you know when you're trying to slide in just a little bit?
I made a mistake. He's not responsible for that 3rd place.
Okay.
He has to leave this guy a lane.
Okay.
But that guy has to leave a lane for the guy inside of him, so it sets up a domino thing. We called it that he's a wounded animal, and when you get close to a wounded animal, they can bite you, and that's what happened.
Well, here's the other thing. We talked to some team members out in the pits earlier today, and just trying to get a sense for, who's who. And one of the things we heard is these 2 teams, they just don't like each other very much. And that's because they're both so competitive.
I go back to my career. Jim Cropfield and I didn't get along real well on the race cars. It was toe-to-toe, just beating each other in the head. when we quit racing, we really loved each other. We had a huge respect. So these guys are right now into that era where they are beating each other in the head, and it's hard to stay friendly. And John Theoret, he's trying to get in the final, and as we went into it, I said, you got to watch out for guys that have nothing to lose, and that's what happened.
Well, it's that time of the day, too.
It's that time of the day.
Yeah, it's you've got to get there, you've got to get to the finals, and your team is depending on you. Once that boat goes in the water, they close the hatch and send you away from the dock. Now it's on you as the driver. All that work that went into getting that boat ready, and the team has to turn it over to you now, the driver.
And that's how I approach racing. I would watch the guys work on the boat, and they made every part as good as they possibly could that it wouldn't fail. So I looked at myself and said, I have to build the best driver part that they screw into the boat at the end, like the nut behind the wheel. That's literally. And that's what you got to do. You got to be a great part of a race boat.
Well, let's check on the unofficial results, but they will be made official shortly. Of Heat 3B, the Albert Lee Appliance Seafair Cup, Elstrom Elam Plus, they had to, and they did. A first-place finish. Graham Trucking, Albert Lee Appliance, George's Presents, George Presents, that is, Miss Carstar, Boitano Homes, and Dalton Industries. Those are your results. Heat 3B brought to you by Albert Lee Appliance.
Heat 3B of the Albert Lee Appliance Seafair Cup is presented by Bosch Thermador and is presented for Seafair by One Main Financial.
The Geico fastest lap goes to John Theoret in the Elstrom Elam Plus, 141.270 miles per hour. That's the fastest lap for Heat 3B. And our congratulations to John Theoret in the Elam Plus. They first place for Heat 3B. There's your photo finish presented by Muckleshoot Casino, the biggest and best in the Northwest.
And you know, not everything on the lake today goes 200 miles an hour. These folks have enjoyed, well, they're 12s. Of course, they enjoy what's going on today. They've watched boats and hydroplanes and air show, and they're also going to watch wakeboarding, the finals of wakeboarding here at Lake Washington, right around the corner.
You're watching the 2015 Albert Lee Appliance Seafair Cup, presented by Hyundai of Kirkland, your official dealer of Seafair on KIRO 7.
Beacon Plumbing is all about the community, from the hydroplanes
And Miss Beacon Plumbing wins the
to helping feed the community and employing the community. From everyone at Beacon Plumbing, thank you, Seattle.
Hey, wait. Stop freaking. Call Beacon.
This summer, get ready for suspense, unbridled jealousy.
She's still there.
New beginnings.
Goodbye.
And sheer exhilaration.
Lock and load.
Roger.
It's the event you don't want to miss. It's the Summer of Audi sales event. Get up to $3,000 bonus on select Audi models now during the Summer of Audi sales event.
Bartell Drugs has everything you need for your summer of Seafair fun at over 60 convenient locations. Going to the Seafair Hydro races? Come see us at our Rainier Avenue location. Spending an afternoon at Gasworks Park? Our Wallingford location is just up the street. You can find us from Tacoma to Stanwood and from Seattle to North Bend. And now, Neutrogena Sun Care products are 20% off and get 2 cases of Crystal Geyser water for $5. Bartell Drugs, treating Washington well since 1890.
I'm Mark of AARP here at Lake Union to let you know about all of the real possibilities we provide right here in Seattle. Because if you don't think real possibilities in Seattle when you think AARP, then you don't know art. We offer free movie screenings and premieres. Our meetups and seminars help people connect to reach their goals. And we're fighting scams with our AARP Fraud Watch Network. We've got something new here all the time. So get to know us and see all of the real possibilities at aarp.org/Seattle.
Call the plumber.
Oh, stop freaking. I'll call Beacon.
Beacons is the company you can rely on. Once you call them, you'll never, ever call anyone else.
Next time you have a plumbing problem, don't start freaking. Call Beacon Plumbing.
Welcome back, everybody, from the comforts of perhaps your living room and not your own personal swan. Is that what that is? I'm not sure. We are live all day on KIRO 7 and KIROTV.com. Maybe some of those folks out there on the boats are watching our live stream right now as well. Who knows? If you are, let us remind you, put on some sunscreen, please. My goodness. Now it is time to get you all up to speed on all the day's news away from the lake here. There's a lot going on this Seafair Sunday.
KIRO 7's Lindsay Sheldon is back in the newsroom with a look at what's coming up right after Seafair Sunday.
Well, Monique and Steve, the heat may be bringing big crowds to Lake Washington there, but it is also creating huge problems for fire crews across the state. First to Olympic National Park, where fire officials say the Paradise wildfire spiked dramatically in the heat. The rare early season fire began in late May with a lightning strike and has been burning in rugged, mostly inaccessible terrain since then. The entire Olympic Peninsula is in the midst of its driest year since 1895. And in the South Sound, firefighters have their hands full trying to corral the Sunrise Fire near Puyallup. It is about 70% contained now, but when it flared up yesterday, there were concerns it could threaten Emerald Ridge High School and some 7,600 people who live nearby. And in Mason County, there are new numbers today on the Deckerville Road fire. It started on Friday near Matlock, and it is now 50% contained. 13 structures were lost in all. 5 of them were homes. Joint Base Lewis McChord is confirming its second bear attack since April. The latest happened early yesterday. The victim was not a soldier. He suffered some scratches and other minor injuries. A base spokesman says the man was in a restricted area and should not have been there. The bear has not been found. And tonight, a KIRO 7 investigation shows how a young man from Auburn seemingly duped the State Department of Revenue, leading King County to hand over more than $300,000 in taxpayer funds. Ahead at 5, we look into the 19-year-old at the center of the huge property tax refund, one that even the state now admits was a mistake. And now here is KIRO 7 pinpoint meteorologist Kelly Franson. Kelly, any relief from the heat in sight?
You know, we actually got a little bit of relief from the cloud cover today, Lindsay. It has not been thick, but that thin overcast is doing a good job of filtering the sun and keeping us a little cooler than we would otherwise be. You can see that cloud cover here on the KIRO 7 pinpoint storm tracker. And yes, there is more ready to move up from the south. So we'll likely see those clouds thickening up